the champions of the Basketball Champions League of South America, Boca Juniors. My plan was to vlog the entire series, but when the games got started, my focus shifted entirely to basketball. I didn't think about the camera. I wasn't thinking about planning. I just wanted to focus and lock in on getting the job done. So let me take you inside of what actually happened during the series. So if you don't know who Boca is one of the biggest soccer teams in South America. For sure, one of the biggest soccer teams in Argentina. And they have a basketball team. That basketball team so happened just won the Champions League title, the BCL of South America. So pretty good team. You know, they were one of the top teams in the league this year, and they got a lot of talent. They got a big history. I think they won a championship the last 2 out of 3 years in Argentina. I'm not sure, but I think that's what it is. And that's who we got for the semifinals. The stakes for the game was kind of important because, to my knowledge, Boca knocked my team Quimsa out for the last 2 years in the semifinals. So to match up with them again for a third time, but this time I'm on a squad. I really want to go from the semis to the finals. So the atmosphere is kind of crazy. Our gym is normally very sleepy, and I've been very critical of our fans for a long time since I've been here. I love the people, but the gym was just kind of dead. You know, the games are late at night sometimes, and there aren't many people that show up, and the people that do show up, they're kind of dead. But for game one, this series, I could feel the anticipation from my teammates, from the city. I felt like this was going to be a very, very intense game. And the people showed up and showed out. The atmosphere around the game is that a lot of people are saying that this is the championship game because Boca is one of the best teams and we're one of the best teams. Two teams, I think, with the biggest budgets. So it's a very intense matchup. My expectation, to be honest with you, is that we're going to go 3-0. That's just my expectation. My expectation is that we're going to go 3-0 and we'll finish the series out in Boca. I just think that we're too big, too strong. We play too hard. I think that they really don't have enough to compete with us. But let's break down the series. Let's see how it went. So we played the first game and it was pretty easy. I'm going to be honest with you. It was pretty easy. We came out super aggressive. We came out playing basketball. We played our best basketball in this first game. And we had just came off of a series with Instituto in which that team punched us in the mouth. It was a team that had only like 5 guys, all locals, no foreigners, and they did everything right. They executed on offense, they rebounded, they were physical, they hold, they grabbed. They did everything right. So that series, in my opinion, prepared us to go against a team like Boca, which is not so physical. They don't play so hard. They're not that methodical offensively. They kind of rely on talent. And in my opinion, we have more talent than them. So this first game, we came out and we just punched them in the mouth. Just punched them straight in the mouth. Was super aggressive. We did everything right, running in transition. The fans was turned up. Everybody was on their P's and Q's. Game 2, we came out and we had the same type energy. We came out with the same aggressiveness. The game was kind of handled fairly easy once again. I mean, they got the MVP of the league, a big man named Cafaro, but we got Jerome Menise and Sam Freeman, and they both hold their own against him. You know, he couldn't really beat them up. The last series they played against a team called Obera, they just really threw the ball down to Cafaro in the post, and he just dominated. And when we seen this on film, we was like, they're going to have another game plan because it's no way they're going to do that against Jerome, Sam, or even when I go to the 5. So, and they struggled with that. I mean, he had a better game than the first game in the second game, but he still wasn't that effective. We kind of dominated them again in game 2. Once again, the fans was hyped, was very excited. The gym was lit, man. Game 3, we had to travel from Santiago to Buenos Aires to play Boca in Boca. And they came out super aggressive. I mean, they were desperate. We expected that. But what we didn't expect was for us to not come out as aggressive. You know, I think our mentality was that we were going to come out aggressive, but I think that we were too anxious. That's something that we've been trying to manage in the playoffs, is not be too anxious, to just take it minute by minute, possession by possession. Sometimes with us, we want to get the game finished with early. Because we have so much talent, we feel like we can just win the games easily, and we get real anxious. And I think we were really anxious in game 3. And they came out and went up 12-0, if I'm not mistaken. We didn't score our first bucket till about 6 minutes within the first quarter. And, they kind of controlled the first half. We went into the halftime. We started talking to each other. It was like, we got to get this right. We came out, had a good second half, great second half. I think with 1 minute left, we was down 2 or 3 points, and we had a chance to either tie it or win it. I got a big turnover, and they made every play down the stretch. They made the threes, they made their floaters, and that plus my turnover kind of sealed the deal for them. So, we went back to the hotel, talked to everybody, got in the group chats and discussed what we felt, how we was feeling, and we came out game 4 and we was like, we were all out. And we came out game 4 and we pretty much dominated. We dominated the game from the beginning to the end. Everybody played their part. First 5, second 5. Coaches was on their P's and Q's. We wasn't complaining to the referees. And we came out and we dominated.
Perfecto pase. Johnson. Despegado.
Now, this is the part I didn't talk about. Before game 1, I ended up getting a mild concussion. It was just in shoot around. Somebody shot the ball hit me on top of my head. I was sensitive to light, I was sensitive to sound, a lot of anxiety, breathing was difficult. So the day before the game, I just sat in a dark room for about 10 hours because I was sensitive to so much different things. I didn't think I can play. And I went to sleep early, got up the next morning, and I still had the same feeling. Game time started, I'm thinking, there's no way I can play. But I did as much as I could. I just kept it very simple, very basic. But that's a lot of things that, a lot of players don't share. And the fans should know. There's no way I should have played that game, but I could not let my guys down. We had came too far. I was too excited. I wanted to be a part of winning this semifinal, especially game 1. And it was a difficult game, but I came out and got right. For the rest of the series, I was pretty much good, except game 3. We did that travel and went from Santiago to Buenos Aires. The airplanes, I had an exit row seat, but the exit row seat don't really recline. So my lower back was tight. I tried to do everything I could in the hotel to get right, but game time come, I still was tight. I didn't really wake up to the second half, and you can see my play. I was totally a different player from the first half to the second half. But game 4, after being in Buenos Aires for a day or 2, got acclimated to the environment, I was ready to go. This series had a lot of pressure, I think, from both ends, because I think they wanted to win the South American Champions League, and I think they wanted to win the Argentinian League. So that's 2 of the main leagues that they won in one season. Especially, they have the prestige of being Boca. And for us, I think the pressure was, we're not about to lose to these guys again another season. And after the season we had, we weren't about to just, lose to Boca and not go to the finals when we've been playing so well all year long. So that was a lot of pressure, and plus our fans were turned up. So they came into our gym, you gotta play through that. When we went to their gym, our gym is big, but we went to their gym is small, and the fans are on top of you. And you could feel them in game 3. They were super loud, super active. They had their little chants. They do this stuff right here in Argentina, and they were really turned up. It was a real great environment to play in. But with that environment being so special, we won game 4 on their court, and now we're headed to the finals. Today is Thursday, June 4th, when I'm recording this vlog, and we start the finals on game 6. The journey just beginning, man. Job's not done. Beating Boca was great, but we cannot take this next opponent lightly. This was my second game in Argentina. We went to their gym. We were playing against Gimnasio, and I had 0 points, 0 attempts, and like 3 turnovers. They came to Santiago, and we beat them up pretty bad. I had a vendetta against them, but they're a very good team. You know, they can shoot the ball, they can run, they got size, they got versatility. So we got to be on our P's and Q's. Make sure that we dotting our I's and crossing our T's, because this team can sneak up on us and beat us. Because this team could give us some trouble if we don't come out with the intensity that we've came out with in the previous games. They got the defensive MVP with a big man he's pretty tall, runs the court well, blocks a lot of shots. They have a really good young Argentinian guard that really dominated us last time and kind of kept them in the game single-handedly. You know, their four-man is very fast. He runs up and down, and that's going to be my cover. And then they got Ken Horton. He can spread the court as a four-man. He's pretty tall. All the guards can pretty much shoot it. So it's going to be a good series. You know, we got the home court advantage. First two games in Quimsa. I'm excited. You know, I'm excited to get the job finished, because that's what we play for. We play to win championships, and we right here. We right here. So we got to respect our opponents. They're a respectable opponent, and we got to play the game the right way. And I got to make sure that I'm doing everything I can to prepare, to make sure that I give myself the best chance to be effective in this series. So I'll do a breakdown for the finals of the series, just like I did a breakdown for the semifinals. And yeah, man, every day, make them pay so that one day you can live a truth life. I'll holler at y'all next time.